Welcome back. We're checking out the Pegasus expedition today. This is an early access game coming into its full version on June 20th as planned. This is a turn-based 4X grand strategy in space, which isn't a genre that I frequent a lot, but one that I have been booping my snoot into more frequently. Anyway, I'm about 2 hours in, but I'd seen Splattercat do it. And I did think it would be cool to check out because I feel like he had a very good take on it. I'm like, ooh, this looks like a neat, interesting project for people who have been deeply booping their snoots into the grand strategy of space. But this is a sponsored stream by Fulcrum Publishing, so do take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I do like this game, and I think it has a very unique combat system that I want to highlight a lot. But yeah, I think that it does add a lot in terms of like the actual auto-battling strategy, which I do wish we could see some more like kind of morality in other systems. Anyway, you'll see it when we get to it, but yeah, turn-based, cooler combat visualization system. The deployment here is pretty cool and strategic, but it does feature a campaign. I'm kind of curious as to where more of the like kind of randomization lies in it, but there are 4 different scenarios currently. There are 2 ways to play the game. I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. I am on the preview build, so I have the campaign, but there's also 4 scenarios where you can play as like a goofy rendition of the European Union, America. I mean, it's like... The heavy focus on military means the fleet didn't have much room for non-military functions. Like, yeah, that's us. I think it's a pretty accurate pictograph. You also have like a Middle Eastern faction and then kind of like I guess a rebel faction. But I'm going to be going through the main campaign because I do think that it's the best way to play the game and get the actual lore of the story right now. I will go deeply into the story more because this is a game where generally I avoid the story, but I feel like that it misses the mark if I don't talk about the story here. It reminds me a lot of like Halo, for example, combined with some of the Stellaris ends, but these ones have been more fleshed out, which is not something that I've seen, and a lot of people seem to tell me that gaming is dead. Gaming is dead, AA. There's no more linear story. But yeah, there is a lot of emergent gameplay in many of the games that we go into. So, as far as replayability on YouTube, I'm not honestly sure. But as far as it goes with, like, looking for an interesting experience outside of the 4X Grand Strategy, I think that this game has a potential market there. So, that's what my take is on it. Heavy story elements, so this will not exactly be my common way of going through a game. But yeah, this is about the survival of the human race. But I will explain a little bit as we go. I'm going to just launch the campaign. And we'll just get straight into it. Bit of a loading. Anyway, story, I want to let it speak for itself for a moment, and then I will go into it. Earth is in peril. In 2262, humanity was at war. A huge, sentient, and hostile life form known as the Colossals was threatening the Earth. Basically the Flood, leaving humanity little choice. But, okay, so basically we're fleeing. We're leaving some people on Earth. The Pegasus expedition was the attempt to achieve that. 3 powers from Earth sent their best fleets on the expedition. The rest focusing on defending Earth and... I mean, basically, these people just get left behind. Not gonna lie. The Zeus Link fleet sent... So this is the EU. So apparently Europe has led us instead of America. Slightly not okay with this. It is now up to you to make a difference. Okay, so we have... Actually, this part is quite nice voice acting.
Soldiers, colleagues. You all know very well why we are here, and what we are about to do soon. First, remember this moment.
They got sucked into a wormhole.
The stakes. We will risk ourselves on behalf of everything you care about, and everyone you ever knew. And when the time comes, you will be troubled. You will doubt. We all will. At that very moment, remember this. Do your best, do what you can, and it will be enough. It will be enough if anything in our power can be. There's no telling how this is going to end. But in the end, one thing will be certain. That we gave it all we had.
Alright, so kind of a 4X narrative story going on here. I am just going to let that moment speak for itself. There are a lot of dialogue snippets in the game, But that's about all that I'm going to... I will let them speak for themselves slightly, although we are going to roleplay this one. So basically, this game's narrative exposition is this. Earth is under peril because some giant race of potentially dangerous species called the Colossals. They're hostile, they're bad, they don't like us. Think of it maybe like the Flood, I'm not sure. Did the Flood attack Earth? Anyway, they are bad. We are afraid of them, we're going to get killed by them. So, naturally, we take our fleets out of the Milky Way into a wormhole and we enter a galaxy called Pegasus, right? I'm in the Pegasus galaxy. So that's where we're at right now. We're in a wormhole at the edge of the Pegasus galaxy. Not the black hole in the center. We don't want to get sucked into that. But basically the idea is this. We are trying to find another another place for humanity to survive. We're probably going to find a lot of them because we're going to make a lot of settlements here. But yeah, like we're kind of the bad guys here. Like we're going to wipe out a lot of the aliens in this galaxy. So it's sort of like, if you were thinking of it compared to all the emergent gameplay in Stellaris, this is like one of many potential scenarios, although this game has a narrative about it. So kind of thinking of it like a narrative slash, I don't know if you'd call it like a roguelike or a roguelite. It's just, I guess, a game in this case, scenario of potentially something that could happen, and it's also turn-based, and there's also a really good combat system behind it, which involves more turn-based, obviously, but I would kind of consider it auto-battling, which I do like that better than real-time strategy because I do not have good reflexes. Anyway, we're going to sort of go through the tutorial, but we're going to go through the game this way. So pretty much the whole main idea here is that you have to kill all of the aliens, but the way that you do it is going to kind of determine your difficulty. You could either be very peaceful and like let the enemy retreat. You could not use nukes against them in space, which that would or would not be very cash money depending upon your perspective, but you're going to have kind of like this Knights of the Old Republic level of light and dark side, which causes the other aliens in the galaxy to see you in a certain way or change your game outcome. I'm going to just be extremely violent for that, despite the fact that I'm the EU and not the United States with the military. Problematic reliance, whatever you would call it.
How you doing, Mr. Amphibian?
Oh, just a lot of blank spaces, Henry. Doing pretty well. Thank you very much for the 4 months. But yeah, that's basically the exposition here. We are going to just be as nuclear as possible while we decimate all of the aliens. What will happen, and I'm kind of curious. I haven't honestly seen the end of it, so this may just spiral into a horrible failure, in which case I think it would be fun. I'm trying to just be horribly aggressive. Because the other day we were pacifists in Stellaris. And look how that went. So we're going to be extremely violent today. Or basically the EU turned USA. True to form. Anyway, Evan Locke here is one of the commanders, or the diplomat. Welcome to the Pegasus Galaxy Director. So we've all just come in here from the EU, of course. Elodie Perron, the Pegasus expedition has now officially begun. A perimeter around the formulas. Okay, so they're protecting the wormhole from Earth, and they're basically just sending a massive fleet that's going to get reinforced from whatever remains of Earth. And we're trying to see if we can bring out the Earth refugees here and settle planets and whatnot. Carolina, Uric. So far, it's going according to plan, you could say. Okay, so we are the spirit. Yes, obviously we are the spirit of the exposition. Yeah, how detailed of a plan do we actually have? The level of intel we had beforehand is very limited at best, yeah, so it's just like going off into the unknown. We're going to just basically decimate all of the aliens here. Ignore the morality of this. The Minister of Interior, Carolina, New York. We could have made a detailed plan without the relevant info. So this is kind of like they're procrastinating. Like, we're going to get taken over. We just got to go and like take over other people's planets. So we are kind of the bad guys here. So we really did just jump into the unknown. Aren't you at the top? So we did jump into the unknown. Yes, you are leading the expedition. If you had better ideas for the plan, you could have brought it up a little earlier. It's not like anyone would have listened. It's the main critique that had thrown back home. It's not like they're exactly... Now, you can change the outcome of these events by picking different dialogue options. Maybe not, but this is still the best we can do. Yeah. Kind of like we were all going to die, so we just had to come in here. Very well, what now? Right? We can't stay in the portal for long, so we need to move to the closest star system to form up. Okay, so we're trying to recon the Zoka system is where we're headed. And then we're going to set up some infrastructure, assess the surroundings, and start making ourselves permanent. So basically settling planets and creating outposts. My teams are still on the other side once they've come through from the Milky Way. From the Milky Way, in parentheses here. We'll start making sense of all the information we should already be collecting. Okay, there we go. It's a question of dividing initial systems between ourselves and our allies. So we are just one of several factions here. We're basically the EU, and the Americans will be coming, and like the kind of conglomeration of many Middle Eastern factions. And these are separate scenarios that you can play, although I wanted to focus on one, so I'm doing the main campaign. But there are other campaigns in this, basically. Or like other scenarios in that case. And one you could just play as a biomass. Anyway, enough of that. We've made contact. Okay, so basically we're going to get right into the combat here. I think we have another one.
9 hours. 9 hours in the Pegasus galaxy, and we were at war.
Yes, we're going to be using the punching everyone strategy.
Shots. And we weren't going to take it lying down.
So basically, humanity's been driven off of Earth, out of the frying pan into the fire, and we're trying to take over, essentially, one other galaxy. There's tons of other factions here, though, so there are lizard people that we will first encounter. Anyway, I'm fairly I think it's the lizard people all the time here. Okay, so basically, the combat system works like this. We're going through deployment right here. Can I tab? No, I can't tab out right here, but this is a solar system in the galaxy that we've just zoomed in on. It's similar to the kind of Stellaris view that you would get when you zoom in that way. We were on the galaxy view, but here we're on the Zoka star system. And the enemy has fleets around these planets. Our command beacon right here, this is just a command beacon. But this is the planet of Zoka 1, so they've been hanging out over here. We have our fleet. We don't necessarily have 4 fleets, we just have... Or, would you consider this a fleet? I'm actually now not sure. It's just a group of ships right here. But we have different admirals commanding these things, and these each have their own ships. Can we see them right now yet? No. But pretty much, we're going to try to choose a deployment that's going to either give us very violent results that's going to give us like a really strong victory, or we're going to pick non-violent ones that will make people kind of like us more. I'm going to go with all the most violent ones because I was not playing too particularly well the first time I did this. But pretty much we choose a formation, then we rotate around the galaxy so we can kind of plan how they're going to execute their attack. But then from there, they're going to move from planet to planet, and then they're going to shoot artillery at each other. So it's kind of like you make a few executive decisions at the start of combat, and then you watch how it plays out. Though you can interrupt in certain ways, like, oh, let's shoot a nuke over from this combat to the other one, because one battle could be going well, and then another one might be going not very well at all. So you need to naturally send a nuke over there, and like other people in the galaxy won't think that that's so very cash money of you, but at the same time, like, yeah, you did it because you had to survive, and like, we're going to kill everyone anyway and try to settle the whole galaxy. So we have to, either we have to do it really fast or slow, but I'm guessing this will go really well and then really poorly in the end, so I want to see how that plays out. Anyway, we're going to deploy from here. When we hit down to this lower level, they're going to start their retreat, or we will if we do it. I really don't like the auto battle in this game. I think that this is where most of the game is at, so I would recommend not picking the auto battle function if you do it. Also, GSO18, or Guesso18, thank you very much for the raid. Do appreciate it. Hope you guys had a good stream. Let me see. So here we go. So pretty much, we're going to pick... I think that this is a good way to deploy. We get to the enemy pretty fast. We can deploy on opposite sides. Oh, actually, this could work, too. So instead of dividing the fleet into 4, we'll just divide it into 2, hit from opposite sides, so we hit them with big groups. Now, here we could be like, oh, we don't really want to hurt anyone. We aren't going to move so fast, cautious, advance. Or we could just be really rash and fighty and take them down like this. I'm going to spend my resources here. Actually, I'm not sure if this one... Is this going to affect our reputation? I'm not 100% sure. We could either do... we could either use nukes and make everyone hate us, or we could just be slightly better in combat. So I'm just going to see if I can just be a little bit better. I do think that this is going to hurt our reputation, but we do have a lot of resources to start. And I want to win very decisively at the beginning. So let's just say morality... we're just going to do normal damage. We're not going to use our nuclear arsenal yet because, I mean, I think this is going to be pretty one-sided anyway. Oh yeah, let's give this a shot. We're going to start combat. We could have auto interrupts, but there's all kinds of other things we could get into in combat. We could shoot a missile salvo from combat to combat, but I'm just going to show the basic combat system here. So we are winning. We are winning. Salvo of MERV missiles to the target planet, seeking out and striking enemy ships. Now, if we had other people hitting us with artillery from other places, that might be a good time to try to shoot them and try to get them to retreat and stuff, but this is a pretty one-sided first battle. We spent some resources to make sure that we played it right, so we got them to retreat. This is a pretty decisive victory. Victory in 3, 2, 1, so we went on both planets, and there they go. Woo, woo, good job, everyone. Though we did just massacre an entire group of aliens right there, so everyone's kind of like, ooh, we just killed a bunch of aliens. Is this okay? And then they're having this, like, moral crisis in the room. But yeah, that's basically how this is going to play out. What the hell is going on in here? We just made contact with something. It appears sentient, somewhat humanoid, and operates heavily armed space vessels. So we don't know what anything is. Yes, very pog. Just basically humanoid dinosaurs. I mean, isn't that like every space game ever, guys? Fired on sight and we returned to fire. We destroyed a small unit. Oh, the biomass could be different. But I haven't tried that one yet. Probably a garrison. So whatever they are, we are now at war with them. Okay, so yeah, we are just shooting people indiscriminately. If an identified fleet appeared out of nowhere in your station, they must be terrified right now. I just hope we didn't start something irreversible. So we're trying to cause little collateral damage. Although I personally am trying to cause a lot of collateral damage unbeknownst to the people inside of the game. It's unfortunate. But I do not see how we could have done anything differently. Oh, thank you. It's actually not my birthday, though this is a massive running meme on my channel, but thank you very much for the T3 sub, Ezekiel Bot. That is very generous of you. It is December 23rd is my birthday, but it's not there yet. We could have not shot back. First contact, I mean, it is a little tense to say the least. I feel like that's first contact experience is based on Colossals, and they never. Okay, so we're getting screwed by them, so we might as well go through with this. That does make sense, though. I mean, it really doesn't make sense, but okay, whatever. We're going to have to fight someone somehow. I guess we could go through full pacifist. Please, no one hurt us. Although they probably want their planet. I mean, people here, but we'd like to send a team to investigate the enemy remains in this Zoka system. When you can. In that case, the Zoka system is now secure, and we need to move in and start setting ourselves up as soon as possible. That hasn't changed. Okay, so yeah. Pretty much, like, we need a new home. Get out of the way. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about, how this game is slightly different from, say, for example, Stellaris. You have, like, you're still jumping in discrete ways from system to system, although you kind of have these, like, grid-based... I guess it technically is on, like, a circular grid, the way that it is laying out, now that I really look at it. That is just slightly loud, that music. Hang on a second, let me just turn that down slightly. Because it's like that beep, boop, bop kind of Deus Ex sounding soundtrack, which I am rather fond of this music. It gets me in concentration mode. But yeah, that is happening. Pacifists in space games. Don't knock it till you try it, though. Yeah, all space games are about war and war crimes. Isn't that how it goes? Anyway, so here are our fleets. Where is the wormhole that we came out of? This is the portal to Sol, Milky Way, our solar system, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, we've just come through Zaire and Zoka. So now we're at. We want to hold the Zoka system, so we are going to have a garrisoned fleet there. R. Al-Hadi, whose name sounds very, like, punny. But this is pretty much his fleet. He's got all of these different ships. He's got cruisers. They are divided into different classes. You've got artillery. You have frigates. Do we have any frigates right now? No, we don't, I believe. Cruisers, frigates, and I want to say, is it flagships, artillery? I believe that is exhaustive, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, pretty much here. Is our fleet okay? Our fleet is relatively the health is slightly low. We could order them to repair it. We could automate it. Automates the upkeep of the fleet by constructing or upgrading units and switching equipment to more advanced ones as they become available. I could do that, although I think I'm going to just go ahead. Well, I will click automate, but I'm also going to get them the equipment they need, because I find that you start off with a lot of money in this game. It's just like, hey, here's all the remaining resources on Earth. Good luck. Increasing the damage and damage reduction of all units by 5% seems amazing. I guess we're going to have to research these other ones later on. There is some very cool research in the game, like where you can get, or is it up here? Yeah, here we go. Like the very first thing, okay, so we got the Zeus link, cost 0. Can we queue research? Okay, we can queue research. Yeah, so getting our economy actually going might be helpful potentially. We'll set this up sooner or later, but the later technologies, which there is a rather extensive technology tree here, the very last things are like biological warfare to wipe everyone out. This one is rather cool. Medusa strain 2100 science or atoms. Medusa bioweapon operation. Attempt to plant the Medusa virus in the system. Each turn for 3 to 7 turns, the virus has a 50% chance to spread to connected systems. So just spread a massive pandemic throughout the universe. That's kind of cool. Can you do that in other games? Like spreading biological warfare throughout the universe? Sounds a lot like the Flood. Kind of cool, and just reminded me of that kind of cool deep lore of Halo. Yeah, I'm like wondering, how does that spread through space? But yeah, just like massive energy production, AI, self-replicating nanobots, basically like your kind of Rise of Nations endgame super OP stuff, which I think is rather cool. Sword of the Stars. Okay, cool. But that's like a concept that I've not seen before. But then again, I am like pretty much not a space boy as much as I could be. Anyway, that being said, have we got our ship? No, we didn't actually upgrade everything. So we're giving them battle group coordination system for more damage. We're also going to give them, I like this one, the damage and damage reduction of all carriers and artillery by 10%. I believe we have just, we have already in this one, right? Yeah, so we do have artillery with these ballasts. What are the signs? The signs are carriers. Okay, so we've got cruisers, carriers, and artillery. I believe that is it. Some of these are damaged, and then this is also artillery. So flagships, okay, well, we do have our flagship here, so we could improve that. Against hazards, let's go ahead with cruisers and frigates. We don't actually have frigates here, but we have enough cruisers. We have 4 cruisers. I guess we could go through with carriers and artillery, and maybe flagships, just because I'd like to get this flagship stronger. 795. Oh, actually, the flagship does not have as much HP as, say, for example, our cruiser. Although I guess the cruiser is just like kind of a tank. I haven't really gotten deeply into the roles of these units, but it seems like something that you could experiment with more. Damage reduction of all flagships by 10%, but we will perhaps experiment with some of this as we commit more war crimes. Hold the Zoka system, so we've got our fleet garrisoned there. Move further into the galaxy. In space. Yeah, so pretty much we're just going. Are we going to get one of them to come to us? We are not going to be too particularly okay in this type of combat. So we could just order them to repair. Can't move or defend for 2 turns. Let me just go ahead and end my turn. Either that or go to Moram at Rorklon, because I do have the garrison there. Yeah. Either that or just end. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to end. Okay, so I believe we're going to get reinforced here in this turn. Yep, there they go. Neum. So those are our American allies, just leaving and going somewhere else. Ah, they don't count in space. Okay, so everything, yeah, that's true. That's true. UN. It wasn't the United Spaces of America. The United Space of America. Oh my god, you don't know how long it took me to come up with United Kingdoms of America.
We were here with very limited
to combine
time
the 2 empires.
Endless pressure from home.
Massive
For better
pressure.
or worse, this was our final plan. We would soon get to see how it would play out.
Woo! Sir, our allies have now started moving through the portal and occupying the nearby star systems. Okay, I hope they get off the planets better than we... yeah, good. So we've surveyed that the Zoka system is not exactly a paradise. I mean, Unfortunately, not the planets are either toxic. We can build on, I think, some of these. Unstable, overly hot, radioactive. I think we get the picture. Okay, so the planets are not okay. We need a foothold, pleasant or not. The second wave is already ready to move. And we should immediately, send them to occupy further systems. That means actively causing more conflict. Okay, so basically we need to take other people's planets because everybody's already claimed all of the good planets here. We're taking your planet. Woo, we're doing all the things that other people are doing to us. We're really strong. We're the United Space of America. Unfortunately, we are not playing. I really wanted to play that campaign, although this is the main campaign. I was like, okay, we'll do EU. It does. We need some territory, and they haven't mounted a retaliatory attack. One cannot say is spirit kind of weak, a state we should perhaps take advantage of. Yeah. So, like, the moral ambiguity here. Do we really need to expand this fast, or could we allow the lizard people to live in peace? Let's just agree. Second wave is ready and waiting for your orders. Are you sure this is the direction we want to take? No, I'm not going to question it at all. Give them the go. Just go. Go. Come in. All right, so the way that combat works in this game is you don't really combine all of your fleets for one battle. I do think that would be cool in cinematic. For example, I do find that in games like, really the only example I can draw from here is Stellaris, which is real-time. I do find it takes a little while to get, like, a meaningful visual in the combat. You do kind of get it here in terms of the, like, pew-pew-pew from the auto-battling concept, although you're basically picking your strongest fleet to fight against theirs one at a time. So I think I would like to see, like, some big battle played out. I think that would be really cool in cinematic here. Although, I don't think that's going to happen because we've got this 1v1 going on. But it does leave room for more, like, tactical kind of maneuvering. These tri-marks, I believe, are, like, the defense guns of the system. I'm not 100% sure, though. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, we could either flee. We won't flee. We could auto-battle. We're obviously not going to auto-battle because I just think that kind of kills the whole point of the game. So we're going to go ahead and fight. Okay, cool. So this is perhaps a slightly more interesting fight. Our reputation, if you will notice, has slightly shifted to the right. We weren't, like, horrible in the last fight, but now we're going to be pretty bad because I want to win these fights very decisively. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue doing horrible things until there's some natural consequence for it. And we'll see what happens to other people's opinion of me, although this system is slightly more difficult to kind of maneuver into. We can divide our fleet into two here. So it's looking like these guys are pretty well defended from the interior. We would want to either move fast as we get out there. See, this seems like it would be a waste of so much of my fleet because they'd be so dispersed. This does too. I could rotate them around in that way. I'm kind of liking the one I had before where I just shoot into these ones and then we basically nuke these guys from out here. So I'm going to go ahead and... how to put this lightly. I'm going to use them. We're going to go ahead and raise our movement speed so that we can get from this fight to this fight pretty fast because these guys will probably come in here and then go here. We want to avoid going over... I think on the star they move slower, though that may be at the center of the galaxy. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, we will basically observe and learn here. But yeah, by any means necessary, we won't do auto interrupts. And also force the enemy to fight longer without retreating. We could also change the kind of retreat here. I don't know if we can go back on these once we do it. But basically, I could, like, damage our, like, kill morale and just basically say, we will not finish fighting until the last man. So, like, we will throw everything that we have at them. I don't really think I'm going to need to do this because I'm just going to use so much force to begin with, so I don't really want to, like, sacrifice my whole faction's happiness at just saying, like, all right, we're burning the boats. But you could engage in that strategy if you just wanted to throw a lot of your lives at the problem. Kind of think of this like a space morality simulator. Now I'm really speaking it out, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot more moral choices in this game than might be had. Do we have a vision of the lizard? I do like their pictures there. What are the defense systems exactly? Are those all on Coron 5? S0 Coron. S0 Coron. I'm just trying to locate this in the galaxy. They They're scattered around. I'm not honestly sure where these are. Does anyone see that where these are? This is one I do. Okay, I'm going to go in with the space nuke. So run them down is also good. Force the enemy to fight longer without retreating. Delays the enemy retreat threshold by 25%. Forcing them to... Okay, so we could kill more of them, but this will really damage our galactic reputation. Like, shoot their ships even if they're in retreat, and it'll wear down the enemy faction faster. I don't think we need to use all of this. This might be a bit excessive here, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And let's waste a lot of our resources on just basically annihilating this. Let's just do everything as bad as possible here. Let's see what this does to our reputation. I'm kind of curious. I've been told not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to nuke these people. Here we go. So there goes the nuke. Woo! There it goes. Amazing. And self-destruct sequence initiated. Okay, we're winning by, like, quite a lot. Let's just send another missile salvo at them. We will send... Okay, it seems that the... I'm going to send missile salvos at the... It appears that the guns are over here. Good, we've taken that one out. Let's shoot more over at them. Victory imminent here and here. And did we already... Ooh, they're pretty much, like, very dead. Look at how low their bar is. And we've also said we're not even going to let them retreat. We're just going to kill them all, pretty much. Let's also send another missile salvo there. So there goes more missile salvos. They travel so fast. This is crazy. Although I really do like the way that it is visualized. If you zoom in really close, you can see our ships. And I guess that these are like starfighters. That are the little glowy bits. But yeah, victory. That was really decisive. We still have 72% of our forces there. Cool. All right, so minimal casualties, although look what happened to our reputation. It's really going down fast. I plan on doing this and then just barely having people still like me after I win very decisively. So that's basically the kind of balancing act that we're going through as we play the game. At this point, it's all going to start to break down as I do worse and worse things, and fewer people respect me. So that is more or less the plan here that I began with. Although we're now holding the Zoka system, we do have a garrison there. Is this also the Roar clan? So yes, these are the lizard people who have excellent posture. Look at them. How respectfully they stand. They look like... Who is that guy from Mortal Kombat? Kind of like a resemblance to that guy. Except perhaps no. Their heads are flatter. Their hands more manly. And then there are variations. Look, this man has some sort of ear. Or like lizard head dress. I do like them. I don't really want to kill them. I'm trying to see what kind of earthling language this sounds like. Keep a... Kehorak. Oh yeah, that's an Irish last name, I believe. Hootie. Oh, look, perhaps this is like Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie Ra. Hootie Ra. And these are the admirals of the other fleets. Thani Rot and Hootie Quack. Hoot or am I allowed to say that word actually? Hootie Quack. Yeah. Hootie Quack. Hootie and the Ra. That's precisely. So are we able to set up, hang on a second. Can we rebuild our fleets? I'm just trying to see if there's anything else we can do here. We've already done this and this. Self-repair protocol. Ooh, units in this fleet are self-repaired 10% if the fleet didn't move this turn. That's helpful, although I'm probably going to be moving my fleets a lot. We don't actually have, are we able to, no, we're in enemy territory, so presumably we can't upgrade there. Here we go. Equipment, this is the garrison fleet. Let's go ahead and give this one another upgrade. This is our, does this have frigates? Yeah, we have frigates here. Cruisers. So let's give this one a frigate upgrade because we haven't done that one yet, and I think that would be more interesting. Carries and artillery. Cruisers and frigates. Line ship reinforcement kits. So let's just make ourselves insanely powerful to begin with. And here are we. We really can't win this one right now. Let's take some time to repair because, look, our fleets are not looking too particularly good in combat right now. Can't move or defend for 2 turns. Not very cash money. If we don't automate, can we? No, we still have to do that to upgrade. Unresolved conflicts. We have one over here. Wait a minute. Have we? Isn't this the one that we just won? Oh no, are there still some of them left? Perhaps I did not slay them all. This one I think I'm just going to do auto. Didn't I just fight this one? Okay, let's see what happens when the game plays auto, just for example. Like, see, that's clearly not the optimal deployment here. We should go in fight them. But yeah, like, this is so one-sided that I just felt like that's fine. Okay, but that's what happens when you auto. But I'm not going to do that at all for the rest of it. Oh, here we go. Whoops. Or did I do it in the other one? I stand corrected. Whoops. I lost track of that. I'm going to go ahead and flee here just because we are not ready for this one. Flee. Leave. Now that we have a bit more than the Zoka system Dr. Lorenz so passionately dislikes, we should do something useful with them. Just dislike the inhospitable planetary. Oh, getting defensive, Ms. Urich. So now, if you don't mind, Director, I'd like to share plans we'd like to use to make the best use of the few star systems. Since there won't be a second chance, it's important we get this right the first time, so please see to it, sir. Very well, Carolina, let's go. See, I always thought this would happen, like, as a kid. I always thought, like, global leaders, like, they would leave. Something like, you know, global warming, it would just take us. And, like, they would flee Earth. And I would be like, we will be left here because we aren't as important as the leader. Build list is not completed. Oh, I don't seem to be able to zoom out here. But we are in the Zoka star system. Let's see. Zoka 1b. So this is buildable. So we have 3 areas that are buildable. Are these actually inhabitable? Volcanic rare earth veins, so we aren't really able to inhabit a volcanic earth, I would presume. But rocky, rare, rich earth. Ooh, this is a little bit better, but barren. Kind of like an interstellar type of deal we're getting here. Like, oh, it's just a mountain. No, it's a huge wave. We have to leave. Also, 60 years have passed. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different outposts that we can go through. We don't have the technology for a civilian outpost yet, so presumably we have to go through and like set things up for people to actually live there. But instead, we're going to go ahead and set up things for, like, research, building our ships, or, for example, just for, like, improving our economy. So take note of all the things that we're going to be getting from it. So, like, 75... We've been spending a lot of these minerals, and there's also rare earth, population, energy, and happiness. So those are our main resources here that we're looking at. And then our, like, fleet commander seedlings and stuff like that. My God. It does occur to me when I play these games just how smooth-brained I am. There really is a lot, but if I go slow, people are like, slow down, AA. You'll get it. You just slow down. I finally understand. I just have to read every word. I struggle with reading comprehension. Anyway, that being said, Industrial Outpost. Construction takes 3 hourglasses to finish. So 3 turns. I think we should probably get an economy before we get other things. So good, we've put an industrial outpost on the volcanic planet. Numerous volcanic eruptions have made the surface here rich with surfaces, which increases our mineral extraction by 25%. So this does make sense to do the things we're doing here, I think. Natural rare earth reserves are abundant here, which increases. So this is a great place to mine. It's like Mustafar. Rare earth veins. And human population. There is a human population here. Wait a minute, what? Oh, was that only because we built on it? Like, oh, there's people, they're living in a dome. Is it okay to be outside? This part I'm not honestly 100% sure about. Don't quote me on that. Whoops, sorry, I just had to move a window on my screen. I'm presuming that's just the colony. I haven't really gotten up to the part where we've got, like, inhabitable worlds yet. But yeah, as we go, built one on this planet Moon, power plant, we've got 2 mines, and we've got 2 mines. Okay, so in total, sum total, that's taking away some energy. Of 40 energy, 40 energy. This gives us 100. So in general, this should increase our energy cap. I haven't seen this actually come up from one turn to the next, so let's go ahead and wait till the next turn to see, because we are having things take place in discrete parts here. But we have a barren world here, so let's just see what Zoka 2 is not good at. So this is rocky. The surface here is completely covered with rocks and stone. Natural rare earth reserves are extremely abundant here, which increases our... So this might be another good place to also have, I'm thinking, an industrial outpost, right? You see what I mean? I'm thinking it might be good the way that we're playing to get our military and then get research going, just because we're being so aggressive. So let's have another industrial outpost just so we get our economy going, because right now I'm spending a lot of resources. And then on Zoka 2, where it's buildable, let's go ahead and build a... okay, so we get new admirals. We don't really have any shipyard outposts right now, I think, as is. So let's go ahead and do that. This seems like a good base place to begin, and then we'll get research started, because that seems rather extraneous. This is going to give us more population, so people will I guess we are getting some population in here. So we seem to have, like, some type of colony, but it's not quite as many people. Like, we haven't really made the whole place very inhabitable. There's probably, like, more lush worlds out there, but we just haven't found them yet. 10 electricity per turn. So we are generating power from these. That's good. We're not really at a deficit. That's important. Although it will cost us population because we need to seed the world. Now they're living there in domes and cities. There they are. Also, Elliswan, thank you very much for the 22 months. Let's go ahead. Leave that. Okay, so we've got a construction queue going. Whoops, different non-civilian outposts. Where have I not built? Where have I not built? Wait a minute. Did I accidentally make it a civilian outpost? Rebuild outpost, hazardous. These are hazardous. Oh, I can also do, no, I can't do here because this is not okay yet. Oh, different. It did want me to build different ones. Not very cash money right now because, like, hang on a second. Which one do I want to do differently? I missed that. Okay, so I think that this is the better place, volcanic. I probably want to get my mineral acquisition up first. I mean, that's 25% and 50%. So let's go ahead and do that on the volcanic world. And then on Zoka 2, I think I'm going to do... Let's just change it to... For the sake of just placating the tutorial, let's do a research outpost. Did we just double spend our resources? If we did, then I just made a major mistake, but that's okay. Okay, cool. So we've done it now. Woo, woo, hooray, everyone. So we'll build one of each. One of each. Don't pick a strategy. Just be balanced. Just be balanced. We do have another way of looking at our fleets here. Do we have more equipment? So now that we have the military area, presumably now we can do more upgrading and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get the ship here for the last one. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this part, but now we can repair the fleet. This does kind of have a toggle on, toggle off. We have a close-up of our ships, which, look, we are not in particularly good health right now, so I think that that is a good idea, probably. They live in domes. The Dome Keeper potentially could be a prequel to Dome Keeper. As you have mentioned, it's a possibility. We have a lot of cruisers in this one. Cruisers and carriers. Not as much artillery. Let's see if we can get the cruisers stronger. Here. Carriers and artillery. Cruisers and frigates. So let's go with that. How many times can I say cruisers? Alright, so there we go. Now we have, like, settlements on Zoko. We're getting population going, and it looks like that this is showing up. Unless that's just from out of the wormhole. Do people just keep coming out of the wormhole, for that matter? Okay, so we have new fleets here. Can we build these? Or can we move these? I kind of want to move these out because the Americans are out here. I wonder if the Americans would fight the Europeans. Like, would they hold that brand loyalty even in space? Not honestly sure. We do have a limited number of jumps here. I think this takes place through like an AP system? Total combat power of units. Wait a minute. No, where does it actually display my units? Oh, available jumps 2. Okay, there we go. So we still have 2 available jumps on this one. I'm not sure if it counts for more via these sectors and territory. I think it must just be from star system to star system, and then these seem to be the territories, but don't quote me on that. I still have yet to explore that fully, but yeah, let's go here. We've got 1 jump. No, that seems to be the case. Okay, anyway, no more available jumps, no more available jumps. I would like to reinforce you from here. Can I have you jump? You can be 3 among us. I think you can have 3 fleets in 1 star system, along with 1 garrisoned, though, because we haven't... Can I just click on Corin? Yeah, there was a garrison one there, but it's now not showing it. Okay, so we could get a command station, though, too. So if we zoom in here on... Is Moram... Do we have one in Zoka, too? I guess we should secure Zoka first. Hey, Uncle Clumsy. Thank you very much for the 19 months. Appreciate it, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Chat, also, have I missed anything that's obvious? Because I am not particularly good at games, and it is, like... It is fair to make a point of that. Thank you guys for sticking with me through space. Although I feel as though I've not missed anything major, although I feel like I'm walking myself down several irreversible holes into my own demise. We've taken control of the Corin system from the Aurora clan. Okay, so we're taking control. This is just a bunch of notifications right here. I do want to make sure that Zoka is well taken care of. The command beacon. Upgraded to a command station. Maintains a level 1 garrison fleet. Okay, so we've got a level 1 garrison fleet. Garrison fleets are local defense forces that are repaired automatically. So we do want to keep strong ones of those. Strong boy. But yeah, I figure that since this is like the star system that we're pretty much starting on. Oh, buildable here. Hang on a second. Can we build in this because it's our... Yeah, oh, cool. We can build on more planets too. So we should probably do that. Let's try to get our resource acquisition up by a little bit, and we could also upgrade it. Gonna take another 3 turns and cost more resources. Unlocks outpost and station construction in the star system. Provides 5 defense stations capable of launching interplanetary missiles in combat. So basically everything that they had when we just attacked them in order to defend themselves, we'll get that too. And a better garrison fleet. So let's go ahead and do that for this system, but it might be kind of pricey to do that for other outer lying ones. I'm thinking it's good to turtle a little bit, but also let's kind of try to be aggressive. But I also want to like build up the economy of the areas where I actually go, obviously. So let's go ahead and go over here. Do we have any good worlds? So we have a desert world. Okay, so we could build a, okay, so we've got the desert world, rare earth rich. So this would probably be a good place to build an industrial outpost. Why are they going to actually take away more of our energy? I don't really want to put us on a net negative here because that's going to lower our happiness. Maybe we should wait a little bit longer and then get a civilian outpost. Also, too, what is the technology we should see that we're missing to get our civilian outpost going? That should be a rather early thing. Habitation protocol. So this is going to take us how many turns? Where does it actually show the number of turns? Oh, it costs just 20 science, so we need to generate science from somewhere. So presumably we're going to be getting science. Let's just go ahead and back to our last system to just double check on our research world. Where was our research world? Ooh, yay, research world. Ooh, it's so much science. How much science does that produce per turn? Oh, whoops, wrong world. Wrong world. I'm going to another one. We are getting only 10 a turn, though. Okay, so we're getting 20 a turn, so by next turn we should have enough to unlock it. Then we'll get habitability, and then we'll go back to a world that's a little bit more habitable. Okay, let's just end the turn, though. So there are many factions throughout the galaxy taking their turns right now, so it does take a bit. But you do have this kind of multitude of species and races taking all their turns, so you do kind of have that. I think it would be really cool if you could go through as all of them. I know that there are 5... scenarios right now, or what is it, 4? Is it 4 in a campaign? Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think it would be cool if you could be any of them. Leaderships in the first expeditionary fleet and Al-Mustamara, which is the kind of Middle Eastern conglomeration, have established themselves here. So now we're starting to see the other Earth groups coming through. Your research and tech can win us wars, too. We could just, like, be the turtle boy strategy. Like, ooh, we're going to go pacifist. And then we just release, some giant parasite on the rest of the galaxy. Kind of cool in that you could play, even though that this is, like, one campaign that you keep needing to go through. And I'm not a huge fan of, like, dialogue cutscenes. It's cool that you can play it in so many different ways, although I could see these cutscenes getting a little bit, old a little bit fast just because of the amount of stock art, but I have seen that there are variations depending upon your choices, so keep that in mind, although you're seeing what appears to be kind of like a narrative story here. Okay, are we sending a Lodi? I'll participate. Technically speaking, you're not military, sir. The EWC doesn't represent our command structure perfectly, but its structure is essentially precisely what the whole body is for. A compromise. Maintain connection with you throughout the meeting. We're not making any decision without your approval, so no need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go myself. Ready to send Grand Admiral Perron there. Could we avoid participating? Meetings are never good. Okay, let's just go. Okay, so I don't believe I got this cutscene every single time, but it gives you another, like, kind of militaristic / pacifist decision to make here. Welcome, colleagues, to this first meeting of the Earth War Council. Representing Al-Mustamara of the Darius Combine, Admiral Gretel Madan at your service. Admiral Samuel Reed of the 1st Expeditionary Fleet. I thought I was volunteering to go. Oh, we're not. Oh, okay, my bad. We're just corresponding, I suppose. Admiral Elodie Perron of Zeus Link Fleet. I'm the ranking military officer, but not the highest authority in the fleet. Yes, I've heard of your interesting command structure. Shouldn't soldiers lead this kind of military expedition? Military isn't part of the whole truth, Admiral Reed. I am in the military. Therefore, I believe in the military. I am a scientist. Therefore, I believe in science. Oh my god. We certainly found ourselves fighting for every planet and star. We've heard the reports of your first contact, Barone. Not ideal, but hard to avoid. Okay, so pretty much, like, she's like, oh, why did you fight them? Whatever, we've hit a soft spot. I would even call it a, yes, we have used force, therefore the military, woo! Combat. Roar Clan, which is part of a much larger civilization called the, ooh, are they like their vassals or something? Male Striker. I've not actually gotten to that part. How do we Oh, how do the rest of them view us? There we go. We haven't made contact with clans of theirs, but this is all the information we've gathered from our rather sizable male Styrak population of the Shioko system. It's always fun to read the words. That's even better. If they'd wanted to defend this Roar clan, then we'd already be there, so there's nothing stopping us from Okay, so let's go ahead. They don't care about these people. Let's go kill them. This feels a little excessive. Our needs are excessive as well. We didn't come here to play. That's true. Zeus Link have a fleet. Ooh, morality. We agree with Admiral Reed. Probably we'll just go everything military. Avoid excessive aggression. I think Elodie will probably, since she's not, like, of military affiliation. Let's just agree with the military. We agree with the military. Necessity dictates. I don't know if you just view this cutscene if you just send her, though, and say, nah, I'm going to keep my decision out of it. Getting a little bit like of a Mass Effect vibe there. I like that. It's a little bit like, I feel as though we kind of missed the spot between emergent gameplay and like the type of choices matter games that came out for a while. You know what I mean? Like, and perhaps this bridges some of that gap. Let's go take a look at our fleets. This is the start of the next turn. We're only on turn 3, despite the fact that so much has gone by. Although if you find yourself like me, in that you just have very poor reflexes, you will probably enjoy this. So our goals here are currently just, we don't have a main quest, but just generally move further into the galaxy. Destroy the Roar clan and hold the Zoka system, so we're pretty much already doing that. And we're trying to wipe these guys out. This looks like a pretty one-sided battle, too. This is the Roar clan. Oh no, more lizard people, even more spiky than the last. It looks like we can go from here. We're currently repairing this fleet. I'm thinking right now these guys are just kind of repairing. Let's leave them be. Can we move this way? It doesn't seem that we have any other system we can move to on this side. So let's go for this one really one-sided battle. And I'm pretty sure that we can't send these guys. So only room for 3 friendly fleets. I personally would like to see that somehow raised, because why shouldn't we just use our overwhelming force? I'm kind of curious if that's a balance thing, although I do love kind of like the cinematics of space. So I'm kind of curious about that, because I think that would be cool. But perhaps I have yet to experience it later on in the game, so I'm just going to assume that. Okay, we will again use nuclear weapons. I have decided for us. This... Oh my gosh. My Google Assistant just thought I was talking to it. I had a little bit of a heart attack here, like... Occasionally, for some reason, it sometimes mishears me. So I always think that... I'm just talking about some scuffed thing in a game, and I'm like, yep, they've definitely got me on a watch list. I'm talking about, like, space nukes. Who is this man? Have I set off other people's Google? I'm just going to never utter any 2-syllable words. Let's go again for lightning strike and stuff. Do I really even need this much? Is there a way of showing how dominant we will be? Again, let's just be extremely dominant here. I'm not sure we're going to need... No, let's use them. Run them down. Let's try it without run them down. I'm going to try to check auto interrupts here, just because I want to see if it shoots nukes for me, or if that has to do with... No, I don't think so. Whoops, never mind. I said that wrong. Good. We're basically evenly matched, so let's send missile salvos here. Maybe even a nuke. I'm not sure if this is going to take out some of our guys, though. Though this is uncontested, we want to wait for this battle to end. We've shot the nuke at them. Let's send more missile salvos. Okay, now these guys are starting to cross the galaxy over to this fight. We have just shot them with nukes, and now we're reinforcing. This is basically D-Day. Good. Okay. We have used nukes. We want to keep some of it. We don't want to use them all up. Although this was also a very decisive victory. Woo, there they go. So we did let some of them retreat. I don't know if this is really amazing because now we're letting them repair and now we're going to have to repair. So maybe we should have done that, like no one is allowed to retreat doctrine, because you can see that they just went to the neighboring galaxies. And that's not so perfectly amazing, but it is like, ooh, like I've got a fleet repairing here. How quickly are we willing to take this? That's kind of going on. Although very quickly our reputation is getting very bad because we've just basically conquered like a slice of the entire galaxy, and probably people are like, whoa, not very pacifist of you over there. And we've completed our construction of the power plants and stuff. Good. I don't know when those get folded into our actual cash flow here. Portal led us to an area of the galaxy controlled by the Roar clan. Cool. I think I already knew that. Our fleet was victorious in combat. Woo, woo, victory. Hey, we won. Taking control of the Gyoka star system from the Roar clan. Okay. It would be nice to have some sort of... Oh, no, we do actually have one jump after they fight a combat. I did not realize that. Wondering if we should, like, reinforce these people somehow. We could send back one of our wounded fleets. Like, these people don't look like they're doing particularly well. We could send them back to Moram to repair. I might do that. Total combat power. These guys look rather strong, so I think I'm going to leave them there because I want them as, like, a good bulwark against whatever might be coming from this side. So let's go ahead and take Fleet P... Oh, no, I thought his name was Fleet, and he had a fleet. What a pun. No. As it happens, no. Fleet P. Russell. Let's take him back to Moram, potentially. And then also this guy is just not looking as strong right now, so let's send him back there, because I kind of want them more in defense mode. And let's have these guys repair. Am I repairing? There we go. I'm repairing now. And then these guys will repair, and now we've got that little icon over them to show that, whoops, they are repairing. As far as the rest go, let's take Fleet H. Romano, and also Fleet L. Webb looks really strong here. So let's go ahead and take them, send them over there, and then you can also repair, because if you're already that strong even without repairing, I dare say you'll be very strong in a moment. Although I want to keep some fleets in Zoka, and they're probably going to try to invade there. So let's start to build up a little bit over here. We could repair, we could continue this. Let's go ahead and do it, and then maybe we'll buy some more equipment for these other fleets. But actually, maybe that's not such a great idea right now because I haven't even settled these other planets. Let's really do a better job on this. Now. We still don't have any brain money, unfortunately. I wanted to build there. Oh, this is rocky. Wait a minute. We're going to be... Oh, no, that's not really... That's not good for industrial? I stand corrected. Okay, then let's get a little bit more research going because I want to get that, because research is basically resources in the future if we manage to do it right. Desert world, rare earth world. Oh, because this area is giving us more minerals and stuff like that, it is also necessarily... taking up more energy. Let's do that anyway then here. I misspoke then the last turn. And then at the desert world, what is not so amazing? Research doesn't cost that much in terms of energy, and I want to keep my energy positive, so let's go ahead and do... It seems like we're finding worlds that are more ideally suited to this. So let's go ahead and just get a lot more science. Just get tons of research if we can. I figure Who knows what we'll see in the future. And then maybe we could build something else to just turtle a little bit for this turn, because we now are starting to use up more of our resources. And I don't want to keep like maneuvering all my fleets, so let's just get some guns in each system. We don't have the technology to upgrade our guns. What else? Corrin is pretty like well defended. It's in this nice armpit here. Yeah, let's kind of see where we go before we try to turtle too much, although Zoka seems to be very much on the interior here. A handsome monkey. Thank you very much for the 8 months. How good you're looking. How good you look. Sorry, I have a short attention span. Let's continue by ending my turn. 2262. Was there anything memey about this year? I learned only that 2137 was basically a meme like last year. Oh, we were repairing and they attacked us. It turns out that they were very, very aggressive here toward us. Okay, so then this is a good thing that I did not build up here. Let's flee. Let's flee. I thought that using overwhelming force would be totally okay, but they've all just amassed all of their forces here. And now this isn't okay. Alright, here goes the failure loop. Woo. There's a lot going on right now, you know. We really need to discuss something. What could be the problem? There's really, there is a lot going on, honestly. I'm being totally authentic with you right here. There's just a lot going on. We're trying to flee Earth and kill all of the aliens in a news. What could you possibly interrupt me for right now? This is what's going on. We have a lot of place. Oh, he said it in italics. Okay, we don't... Yeah, that is true. We don't have a planet to settle. Yeah, we need somewhere that's more inhabitable here. Habitable or inhabitable? You don't habit a place. You inhabit it. We've identified a single such planet on one of the system control... Okay, where is this? Okay, it's in the Bow system. Unfortunately, there aren't any... So basically, we could settle humanity in Bow. I don't mean like someone named Bo, B-O-H. Okay, so it's not exactly self-defense anymore for sure. So basically, we need to take their planet and then live on it. We need Bo. I think both choices are we need it. Yeah, that is a thing. Less hypothetical... Like, you're gonna have to be aggressive, but do it without ruffling too many feathers. Especially if they're the bird people. I would like to inform you that my research teams have finally set themselves and are ready to fulfill their designated tasks. Okay, cool. Finally, we have research. Basically means whenever we or you would like to direct them to research. Many lucrative options. Okay, we've seen the options of research. We can send out a plague on all of the intergalactic races of all the peoples. We did flee here. We have other ships in this system. Where is Bo? Bo is over here, so we're going to want to make our way over there. Gyoka has quite a lot of good stuff at it, although I do believe these were some of my stronger fleets here. What are the strongest ones? These guys are currently at 0 combat power. Is that just because they've had to flee? Not honestly sure there. I don't know how that score is designated, but it looks like we could win by a lot, and this is the one major fleet defending here. So let's go back, and I think we just fought here, but let's go retake Gyoka. We now have some science coming through. We need a little bit more for Pegasus habitation protocol in order to inhabit Bo. This suit must be really bad. Wait, do we have a cook in our expedition? Anyway, going in here. You know, I honestly didn't think I would be this into like a narrative. I generally hate narrative-based games. Although now I'm seeing it, I think that the one thing that I would be nice here would be like a quick skip option on some of the cutscenes or something like that. Because I feel like I kind of am familiar with the campaign. Although I feel like that with emergent gameplay, we could potentially create some like very varied and interesting stories related to morality here. Like, what if you had a morally indecisive species? I think that that is kind of interesting. We just got one. Oh yeah, there's not even any guns because this galaxy has already basically been like conquered horribly. Let's just come in here, just come straight at him. Yeah, again, we want to be pretty decisive here. I just want to get Bo, and then we'll turtle once we've got Bo. And then after that, like, oh, no one really likes us. Let's just keep our, although I'm not going to do nukes here. I don't think that's important. And let's also try not to let them retreat because we don't want them to go to bow. Okay, now I'm making more tactical decisions here. Although we will still do this. I also think that our happiness is a resource that we haven't used, so let's go ahead and slow down unit happiness. Let's go ahead and just use up some of our happiness just in case. I don't think this is going to be important. Wait, can we turn it off? Whoops, once I've already selected it, it seems that I cannot unselect it. Okay, so that is interesting to note. But woo, missile salvo. I'm not sure if we'll even shoot it before we go. Oh my god. I think that you can kind of pan around and zoom in on the battle. Personally, I like this a lot because with space games, just filming them for YouTube can be kind of problematic and tricky because all of the visuals kind of look the same. Except for whenever you meet the, like, squid people in space in Stellaris, for example. Oh, turns out that might not have been such a bad idea after all. Does their defeat accelerate as they go down? It seems that it does. We can speed up combat a little bit, too. Although I personally think that it's a pretty cool space cinematic. I wish I could see the ships a little bit closer, though, perhaps. So only a few of them seem to have managed to flee. Yeah, like, they're not doing particularly well here after all that. We've been pretty brutal on them. And they also didn't flee to bow. I think we're out of jumps for this turn. Capturing bow. Do we have anybody who can just jump over there? No, these guys are repairing. These guys are also busy repairing. We could kind of put some money on repairing our fleet. Let's do it anyway. This one is the best combat strength, although they could just jump over there, so we kind of want to repair these anyway. Yeah, let's do it. We might as well. Ooh, David Williams. What an average name for a space admiral. David Williams. Okay, he's leveled up. Actually, I have not had him one level up yet. Let's go ahead and... David Williams, what's your specialty now? Hang on a second. I do not actually know how to zoom in on him. Recruit. Oh, wait a second. Let's go ahead and see. Expand for details. Expand David Williams. Rename. I can rename. Oh, I can rename him. Sorry, you know how much I love renaming everything in these games. Wait, who do I rename? Oh, rename the fleet. I can't rename David Williams to something more silly. 0 out of 10. I don't actually know what his stats were before. I don't remember them. Did they just change on their own? Let's go ahead and just click into it. Right-click to dismiss. It just seems that it's something that just occurs on its own. I'm not honestly sure if I'm missing that. Potentially ignore me. Fleety McFleet. Yeah, Boaty McBoatface, right? Oh, there we go. We've taken control of Yoka. Fleet was victorious. Capture bow. We have to do that. We have finished all the construction. They call it a mine. A mine. Fleet as Dujmav has Dujmav. That sounds bad.
SPAAAAAAAAAACE PogChamp.
Quantum foam. Thank you very, very much for the 7 months. Indeed, space. I personally kind of envy Hazor's naming conventions that we did from the last time. Do you guys know how Hazor created that amazing name? I guess we're sandwiched here. Let's see if the United States just attacks us for no reason. Has the United States ever just attacked Europe for no reason? I'm pretty sure we got enough. Like, the U.S. is one of those countries where, with a little bit of self-awareness, maybe this is not true. Actually, this is not at all true. Although, I'm not going to put my commentary on American imperialism here. So I'm just going to stop talking where I'm at. But, that being said, other than World War... Actually, I do not know my historical facts. I'm just going to shut up. But yeah, like, we've got enough problems. As an American citizen, we have enough problems to worry about right now. We don't want anything more, please. Please, nothing more. This looks very buildable. Wow, this looks like a really good planet. I'm going to build Mineral World here. Welcome to Mineral World, home of the mineral girls. Natural beauty, long-term happiness from any level of inhabitation. Shifting masses of the sandwich makes upkeeping structures more costly. Oh, that is very interesting about the desert worlds. So this is perhaps part of my debacle with the energy. Let's just go ahead and get more minerals. Corn. So we have more desert worlds. This is going to keep making the energy costs mount. But, I mean, we seem to have a lot of... Is this the flow? It's tricky because this one has a plus sign here. I'm guessing that is a flow, but I'm going to have to consult that again in a moment. Okay, so this is ice. Ooh, energy production is even more expensive on an ice world. Although it does seem to be best to do mineral stuff there. Though 70 is a lot. Let's just not waste the resources on that. I'm not sure if we're going to run out of world, but currently we're going to bow. So let's have some of that. We'll end the turn. I mean, we still are getting pops even just from our outposts in other places. Like, it doesn't need to be such a habitable world. Like, basically, if we all lived in a dome on Mars, that's what we're kind of going through here. Oh my god, we're going to have to flee again. Are they actually capable of fighting because they're repairing? I'm not 100% sure about that. We're just going to have to keep coming back to this place. Not 100% sure about this mechanic yet, because these fleets do still seem to have some strength left, right? Total combat power? I may have borked this. Like, I should not have done this. This game seems like a competitor to Stellaris. I feel like it's kind of like just a narrative take on what it is in Stellaris. Kind of like an adventure to be had, but I think if there were room for an emergent gameplay, it could potentially be room for a different type of thing. Although one is real-time and one of them is essentially turn-based, so I feel like that to me, that's a very different type of game, but I feel like they're similar experiences. If we flee, where do we go? Or have I just killed my entire civilization? Where did they flee to? Or did they all just get nuked? I could try fighting. I would totally just get destroyed there, though. Did I just lose my... I'm just, like, kind of confused here what happened to that fleet. I mean, we do have, like, overwhelming military force with all the other ones. Oh, they disappear for a turn. Well, let's go back in there and just retake it. I mean, we're having no issues just retaking this super fast. I think I'm just going to auto this one because I've done enough of the combat and it's, like, so overwhelming. Although I may come to regret that. Oh my god! Why did I let them do that? They did not use overwhelming force. Sir, we won. We captured quite a bit of weaponry. Ooh, there's kind of like an FTL moment here. It's not exactly compatible with ours, but it is functional. What do we want to do with it? Convert it to our and use... Okay, cool. Ooh, no, don't give it to the Americans. We know how our weapons are... No, let's just take it and use it. That's awesome. Cool. What did we get? Fleet was victorious. Taking control of the Yokas. Does it say anything about the weapon that we took, though? Where is the weapon? I didn't seem to get a notification on that. Social programs and well-being. Oh my gosh, social programs and well-being. Oh, we could create a... Hang on a second. Ooh, wow. We have even more room for social policies. I've not honestly seen these yet, so this is new to me. Resources and funding. Does this just give us our overall flow? Are we able to get, like, a loan from Earth? Oh, this is very cool. I did not realize that we could do that. Ooh, and look, we have enough research now so that we can just buy the Pegasus habitation protocol. Click on a technology to queue it to be researched if the technology is prerequisites. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is going to take place between the turns because of the fact that we've done that. Let's go ahead and just allow that to happen. Oops. Here we go. I just had to get out of that. Probably dock and turn the energy from the ships to conduct repairs. Yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit more of a visual where that's actually happening. I'm curious as to where that's happening right now. I'm not going to repair some of these right now just to see what happens with that, because I just had another fleet there, and I don't currently know what happened to them. Yeah, probably docked. Hopefully they are. But let's also arm these ships up, even at just like a very high cost. We do have frigates here, so let's go ahead and give them some frigate stuff. And then we also have cruisers, flagships, hazards, carriers, and... Whoops, I just did artillery. I didn't mean to do that. All right, I mean, we do have a bunch of artillery in there anyway, so let's go ahead and just do that. I'm going to go ahead and power up everybody, and then this is... And we'll do frigates again. Oh, and that was also the cruisers. I stand corrected, so we just got everybody powered up. And then let's do artillery. I say let's just make them all really powerful right now, because this game does have a long timeline, and I want to be kind of strong for the... I mean, I wouldn't play through a whole game, but there does seem to be a lot of hours in this in terms of just, like, taking over the entire galaxy and encountering more of the races that the game has to offer. Capturing Bo. Let's go ahead and just leave Bo for a moment. And also to fleet construction. Whoops, no base construction, though this is a graveyard. We do have the kind of flow going down here. We have a lot of happiness. We could really compromise on our civilization's happiness. So we could really kill some of our own people in order to get more. Ship graveyard. Abundant remains. Mineral extraction here by 10%. So let's just keep increasing our mineral extraction and then keep throwing that into combat so that we can then just, like, basically take all the minerals from these planets and then make them into nukes. And then we'll use that rather than really building up our fleet to start. Let's see how that works and then just be overwhelmingly horrible to everyone in combat, although we are starting to compromise that. But we're happy, so it's fine, I guess. Am I missing anything else? Let me go ahead and see. Probably. Planets at once, so that is planet construction. Fleet management. Okay, so maybe we want to hire some fleets, just in case if I was totally off there. Let's go ahead and just build a fleet at... Can we do it at Moram? Whoopsie-daisy. Let's go ahead and to Zoka. Can we do this because it's not really too many inhabitable worlds here? Hire an admiral. Okay, we will take an admiral. 4 of the same person. Sophie Jolie Veraru, Milika Dudek, or Christian Braun. That sounds like a real person. What do they have? -5 damage and +5 damage that we're inflicting, obviously. Damage of flagships by 10%. Everyone has a -5 damage, so cruisers. Hi, I'm Milika, and I like flagships. Or just units. I think just general units would be good for right now because I don't really have any particularly developed strategy as it is. Let's go ahead and build a lot of, well, units. Now we could get more into the specifics of what's actually good in combat, which I just admittedly don't know. I am still learning. So let's go ahead and just copy everything that's already worked for us. Or we could go into experimentation mode, but I don't think that will go particularly well if I try to do it, so I'm just not going to. Although it also seems like I just used up almost all of our resources on this by building all of these economies. So that is not particularly good, and I am running out of them because I am running out of money. Woo, we're running out of money. Woo. Let's see what happens in the next turn. I hope that they don't kill us. Let's go ahead and launch more nukes at them next turn. Let's see what happens. I will also say that because it is turn-based, I feel like I do feel like I'm getting to what I suck at in more like discrete intervals, although it does sometimes take a longer time. Okay, so we still seem to be repairing here. We still will not perform particularly well in this combat. This guy is there. Can we, like... I'm not sure how to de-garrison a fleet. They're garrisoned. We have another flagship there. If we disband it... Did I build wide instead of tall? Yeah, this comes back to that old saying... What was that, an old A-Spec video? Wide or tall? Wide or tall? I may have built a bit too wide right here for my own liking before we can even capture Bo at all. In which case, we just kind of chill. Like, we're not gonna take anything, and then in a couple of turns, like, hey, we're back. Can we have your stuff? Let's go ahead and build out our economy right now, because presumably, since we are still kind of in the tutorial part, I may not even get through the full tutorial, which, that being said, like, there is a lot here. But I feel like I've given a fairly good overview of the basics of the game in that way. Mistakes with repairing and jumped the tiny fleets. Yeah, the repairing is very expensive. I may have ballsed that up. But let's go ahead and just try to pass a turn. Let's see what happens if we just repair everyone. Doesn't seem very expensive, but let's keep them repairing. I just feel like more of our... I felt like we had more fleets a second ago, and then when we fled, they just kind of disappeared. Is it when they disappear? Is it when they repair? Hang on a second. If they do, then I may have to go back and replay the whole thing. Oh no, I've actually totally missed that part. Okay, yeah, I guess I will say, like, maybe a minor critique there. Actually, that is a rather major critique. Okay, I did not know that. That is very bad. That is very bad. I have lost many of my fleets now. Okay, now that I am just becoming aware of this. This is not good. So it seems as though I did lose, like, 5 of my fleets there. Thank you very much. Cup of liberty. Liberty. Yeah, that is something that I entirely neglected. Okay, that seems like a very easy thing to miss. I will say this, I do wish that this game had slightly more, like, feedback on the tutorials. So I would say that that would be something I would like to see a little bit more of if they decide to do it in the 1.0. Because, yeah, I didn't really get any feedback on that. It seems as though my fleets just totally, like, self-destructed when I clicked flee when they were repairing. So can we try to instead, because these people are basically just being nice right here, like, yeah, we're not going to invade you because this is still the tutorial. Although if they see that I'm very weak, they seem to just, like, leave me. I'm going to right now basically just give up Kyoka, and then let's flee back here. And then let's go ahead and repair these other fleets. And then just kind of hope that no one attacks them, because this is currently a garrison fleet. We're trying to get to Bo, but these fleets are currently stronger than us. Yes, to be fair, not self-destruct. I mean, they were nuked, but also, too, like, I did click flee, and it gave me flee as an option. I felt like that it should just say, like, basically get killed, because that I find that to be a... I think that they need to change the verbiage in that. Or I think it would be more informative if they did, because I thought my ships were fleeing. But apparently flee just means fold your entire hand of your strongest fleets. So we just lost our strongest fleets, and that's not particularly good. I did tell you I was learning, though, at the beginning. Let's build upgrades for this. And now we need to go ahead and rebuild our fleets. Although, yeah, we currently don't really have that much. Is any ship made of mostly settlements and colonies? We are still basically Turtle Boy now, though. Woo, totally go back on your original strategy because you missed one glaring detail. That's not amazing, but okay. Let's go ahead and build some characters. The carriers, these look pretty cheap. Cruisers. Anything mainly of rare earth? No, it seems like that we lost all the minerals. Okay, Hank Schrader would have a lot of issues with this. We can use things that cost a lot of minerals, though. What else did we have? I want to get the good stuff, but I ran out of money. Well, we did have Harriers. Let's have some Harriers. Okay, it is going to take a turn anyway, so let's build 2 of those, and then we're just out of money. Woo, we're out of money. Woo. Cool. Okay, keep going. So let's see what happens when our entire plan utterly fails, and then we go from there. Thank you very much for the help. Yep, I did miss that. Ooh, are they coming in for... We are just going to... flee again. Flee again. So what happens to our garrison fleet, then? Alright, that is something that I entirely neglected. We're out of money. Woo, the EU is out of money again. We're going to have a bailout. Woo. Okay, let's see if everyone repairs. Come on, guys, repair faster. Okay, now I can build up an entire other fleet in the meantime. Would have been nice to know that. Automate, expand. Okay, let's keep on going back. Woo, woo. You caught us with our pants down. It's okay, though. We have other fleets of ships coming up the rear, and we were prepared. We were totally prepared. Yeah, look at us. Woo, very prepared. What do we have now? I'm just going to build random stuff. Carriers, couple artillery. Okay, cool. All right. Fortunately, we can make up for our mistake. It's only the beginning. All right, cool. So now I have another fleet, so now I have my 3rd fleet back. Basically, we just need to pretty much shield ourselves with another fleet. It seems as though then the strategy is to kind of leapfrog 2 fleets. or like multiple. One that you can use to kind of show a strong face on your borders. We're going to have to just allow these people to like... I guess we could do auto, because then they'll fight the garrison fleet. Run and take 50% damage. Yeah, okay, let's see if they do this. Let's see what happens when they fight the garrison fleet that we have there. So we do have one. Where is our garrison fleet? Oh no, this is how they're attacking us. Yeah, really, it isn't too particularly good for us. Let's start combat. So these are ours. This is when we're defending. And this is just like the world's worst deployment they have taken part in. Let's just see if we can cause more damage to them through more missile salvos as we go. We just want to cause more losses on their side. The death of... What is it? The death of... There is an old saying, but we're basically going to stay here until we die. We don't even retreat because it's a garrison fleet, presumably. Yes, that's true. Dying in space is bad, friends. Can we retreat? Begin retreating? No, we don't even have the option to retreat here. Presumably because this is a garrison one. So, like I said, the main focus of this game seems to be combat. Although I feel like that the interface here could use a little bit more work just to show like what is actually going on with the retreating and the fleeing. Or I am just a smooth brain. It's Christmas. Of course it's Christmas. Where did this come from? What a goofy happenstance. Do we want to recognize that here too? Celebrate joy. Of course, Christmas. Woo, Christmas. We need Yeah, we have more than enough happiness. So, oh my god, we just tanked the happiness. We can't afford to celebrate Christmas. Okay, we've got some sort of random event. A Christmas of... What the hell? Who put in a Christmas party into the space game? Someone spent hours making the art of the guy, like, in the Santa hat looking out of the window. What Christmas presents should I ask for this year? Have I been good enough? Oh my god. Alright. We will continue with our scuffed army. Whoops, we are still building a fleet. Let's just leave them there so that we can come back. This seems to be the only other fleet that they have, and then we could just go through the rest of the galaxy, though. What is still being built on this one? So we still got one turn for a bunch of these. Let's build a couple more frigates. Oh, wait, no, that's going to take 3 turns. Can I unbuild? I can DQ. Okay, never mind. Let's end the turn, because now we have to... Oops, cancel. Nope. We do have technology now. Let's just continue using the time to turtle, I suppose. Turtle with our research. Woo, woo. Good. Increasing our mineral processing so we get even more resources. And then we will continue our massive turtling thing. Let's build a fleet behind them. Can we do that only because I would build here, except that I think they would just take it? And I'm now beginning to realize how soft and squishy an exterior I have. Yeah, this limitation of 3 admirals per sector is beginning to seem rather limited. So basically, if you're strong, you're just going to keep getting stronger, and if you're weak, you're going to keep staying weaker. Trying to think of how that could take part in here. I mean, like, are the enemy factions building up morality around them? Actually, I have not seen that. That would be very interesting. Huh. Yeah, I am now just in my massive militaristic... I told you I would do this. I had everything figured out, and then now we're going through a massive turtle. Although I do kind of lean toward the turtling strategy in my own, like, gameplay, so... This is like a characteristically me type of thing to do. Woo, natural instincts take over. Woo. We will win by a bit, probably in the next turn. We still have more technology. We do have a good flow. Continue. We're going to end the turn, because we just don't have enough money to get the next technology. You really can't miss anything from one turn to the next, though. It's like I'm more used to... I will say that as far as Space 4X games go, with Stellaris being kind of real-time, I'm more used to just like, ooh, if you miss something by a little bit, you can just send back a ship there. If you really miss something from turn to turn here, you really do get kind of borked. It seems we are fairly confident at winning this one, so let's go ahead in here, and then let's take back from our losses in the last battle. Oh, this looks like a good one. Okay, good. Woo. The fact that we've been turtling for turns, does this mean that, ooh, our reputation has actually gone back more toward diplomat when... That is kind of cool that I didn't actually have to make choices. It seems like just by the fact that I was just not fighting anyone, it seems to have decreased. Back toward the, like, peaceful boy side. Okay, we can go ahead and just use massive number of resources. We won't use nukes here, but let's also use by any means, or stand your ground. Whoops. No, run them down. That's the one I wanted to. We don't have the technology for these, I believe, so let's go ahead and just start combat. Ooh, missile salvo. Oh, wait, no, I should have shot that there. Oh, well, let's just keep shooting it everywhere. Oops, I was not using that on the right ones before. Oh, I wonder if they could shoot... Could they shoot missile salvos? Yes, these guys shoot missile salvos toward these guys, and these ones do toward the other people. Interesting. Okay, so let's keep shooting our missile salvos from over here at that one to help reinforce them in the battle before we have to go over there ourselves. Which now we are. We're sending the last of our people there because we're losing this one. And when are they going to go back? Oh, they're going to do one jump here. You could retreat them, but yeah, these four... Okay, so now they're starting to come back. See, this is a very cool kind of slightly interrupted auto battle system. At first, when I played it, it doesn't seem that deep because it just looks like a bunch of moving bars, but the deeper you get into the combat, it's like, ooh, if you like stuff like teamfight tactics, this could be kind of like an alternative between that and just straight up real-time strategy, which is just sometimes feels like it just defaults to actions per minute, you know, and... I used to play so many real-time strategies as a kid. Pick your favorite. Okay, minerals for population or... I think that our happiness is just so high. We don't even need to worry about it. Oh, long-term happiness. No, I don't want to kill my long-term happiness. Although, we do kind of value population more than minerals right now, so let's go ahead and take them into our population. Woo, we live with the lizard people! That we just, like, basically massacred most of them. Let's go ahead and here... And now I'm beginning to see the value of not overextending, although I'm just going to do it again because it's fun. Good. We should be able to win this one fairly decisively once again, though. Again, I think we can do a one-sided... Is that a gun there? No, that's just more moons. Getting, like, some Thanos energy from this. Oh, I don't actually have enough of this turn. Ah, darn. Do the nukes get launched from planet... Actually, I have to double-check that. Let's lower the damage that we take from combat. Good. We haven't really changed our morality. Again, let's run them down. Just because I think we need to prevent their... I mean, we need to end their survival. We need to end them, is what I'm trying to say. Look at all of our ships just... that is so satisfying to just watch them wash on them, isn't it? Unfortunately, we can't use our missile salvos because we aren't doing any interplanet-to-planet warfare here. But this is kind of cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, we were going to win by quite a lot anyway. We've prevented them from retreating. Good. Yeah, we can bring them home. You can bring them home, but you can only keep them as a pet. You can keep the lizard. Okay, so and now I've learned to not repair all of my fleets at once. What happens if I repair one of them, though? For example. Yes, just ML Romano. Oh, a lot of them are leveling up. I'm beginning to see the value of keeping your fleets alive because the commanders then level up. It seems as though, what was he at? Oh yeah, these bonuses are significantly higher than the other ones. So you could kind of keep one admiral alive for a long time, and then he's like, look out, it's a trap, you know? And then he improves. Oh, are these actually being spent each turn? I stand corrected. I may not have done that right the last turn. Increase the... I mean, since we're going on these militaristic campaigns. Yeah, unit production. What is Athene pattern lasers? No. Do we have any type of, like, resource processing? Advanced infrastructure. Oh, cool. So more economy stuff. Ooh, economy stuff. Very fun. Economics. What would happen if I sent them over there? Can you get a preview? No, I'm kind of curious what will happen if we get invaded soon. Like, if we're next, you know? Let's talk, like, a little bit, in terms of, like, visuals and sounds. I actually like the visuals for this game. I wish that you could zoom in closer on the planets. A little bit right here. One thing that I'm just noticing is I think it'd be nice if there were just, like, a bit of smoothing on the camera. That's just me. I think that it's a very good core gameplay premise, although there's a few things that I personally give me like a little bit of a pet peeve, like some of the stock art, although I think that kind of goes away after the campaign, but I think that there is a lot of game here to be had underneath. Like, for example, you guys know that when I play, again, I'm just going to keep going back to Stellaris as the example, I'm really not particularly good at it, although I find the story beneath it extremely interesting. Which is what has led to those videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, there was an entire, like, civil war on this planet, and this and that happened, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, there's just always, like, a lot of interesting stuff going on beneath. I'm finding that this is happening here, although I'm like, the kind of random events I'm finding are, like, potentially, I don't know, like, more flavorful than expected. More flavorful even than expected. It sounds like a food review. Watch out for the AA food reviews. Can we just get, like, these really cheap ones? Okay, carriers. Yeah, I'm going to do what my grandmother did when she would gamble, and I'm just going to bet one on each. It wasn't a very good strategy, but, you know, it kept her happy, and we wanted her to be happy. Oh, my grandmother. Rest in peace. Oh my gosh. She lived a good long life. She lived a good long life. And then we sent her out into space, of course. Kind of a Stellaris Jr., although it's got enough of a different spin on it. But I don't know if my play is really extensive enough to say. Although I am finding myself more and more interested throughout the stream. So I'm just like, ooh, this is cool. Because I usually just do enough to preview something, although I don't really feel like I develop my full opinion of something until I get into the good stuff. Here we go. Oh, holy cow. Jesus Christ. We're getting a raid from Dan. I am not good at thinking or games or strategy, although I aspire to be good at them. And I gotta honestly say, like, at first, there are a couple things about this game that are a little bit rough around the edges in terms of, like, UI and, like, a little bit of player feedback, but I feel like I've gotten past a lot of them through the stream. Although I made a horrible mistake before, I feel like it took me a few of those, and this is a game that I think I would have passed up if I had not sat in for a good 5 hours or so, although there is a lot of game here to be had. So this I would say, as far as all the games that we've done that are sponsored streams where we've kind of like learned it as we go, which generally speaking, I'm playing out of my league in a lot of them because I'm not, you know me, I'm not really like a big strategy YouTuber. I do honestly find myself growing more and more into it as we go. And I feel like I could use this for content. The one thing that I would say that makes it a little bit less YouTube friendly, but I would like to maybe do, I could do one or like a couple if I wanted to as I wade my way back into grand strategy, is like just the kind of whole morality bit. And then it does kind of film in a cool way. Like, I really love doing the Stellaris morality videos and I like them so much. And strangely, despite the fact that I'm very bad at it, like, I feel like I've perfectly repeated my pattern right here. Although I've found exactly the same things about myself. But also in a game that has, like, similarly memey outcomes. Although, like, yeah. Like, that is a thing. It's always bad because I just come to terms with, like, my own pure stupidity. And, like, areas where I just miss stuff. But also, like, hey, there's a game here. Like, this is pretty good. All right, another cutscene. I'm willing to extend an olive branch here for this. Yeah, a little bit. Actually, Frostpunk is a pretty good analogy here. Although I've not played it, I know that it is a little bit like there's some replayability here. But based on what I have heard about Frostpunk, that's fair. Can I get the USA to help or join us? The USA is just out there doing an isolationist thing for right now, but it's a good call. Potentially. Contacted by another species, and everything about them is rather worrying. How come? It's an invitation to an audience with a... Oh, I can't have another thing go wrong. We haven't even occupied the planet. They're going to accept the... Wait, invitation. They were just celebrating Christmas 5 minutes ago. Okay, the fact that they were celebrating Christmas honestly sold me on the game more than anything else. The Taiwan and Empire... Roar have given neighbors for a long time, so they've heard that someone has new species of the wiping the Roar off the map. Okay, so there's another species wiping them off of the... Oh, wait, that's us, though. Oh, oh wait, that's actually us. Need to respect... Okay, so we do... I didn't... Like, here was another little UI thing. It would be nice if, when I hovered over this, I saw that. I didn't actually see that, but there were a couple things. Choosing this option has the following effects. I think we're just trying to bully the Roar right here. We could either kill our reputation with everyone and take away minerals. Minerals, Marie. We do have a good number of minerals now. Oh, first expeditionary fleet is the Americans, but so we could either hurt our relationship with the Americans and then make everyone in the galaxy like us. Ruin our relationship with this new empire that we're encountering and improve it with the Americans and improve our focus. Should we try to align ourselves with the Americans? I think we might want to. That's the American, right? Why weren't the Europeans, why did the Americans name themselves the first expeditionary fleet? Wasn't it the Europeans that had done it? Yes, they are a little bit, they don't really... Oh, well, actually, this does not represent all the people of Earth. Okay, we're going to anger the bird people to make the Americans happy. Welcome, newcomers. It seems you've already translated the Mail Striker tongue since you replied to our invitation. Grasp the basics. We're going to... Trusting that you are friendly and peaceful intentions. Let's just appease him. Nothing to worry about. We don't see conflict. Absolutely nothing to worry about. We've just been launching nukes at all the lizard people in space. You're a bird. Clearly you're different. You're much more respectable and stronger as a bird. To be honest, your recent actions in the sector don't exactly... This actually goes rather well with the rest of the story. This is interesting. Doesn't mean we've renounced our claims. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what Evan decides. They attacked us first. Somewhat true, yeah. Maybe. I mean, depending on how you looked at it. We just shot our missiles into space. What does Evan decide? We naturally recognize your right to defend yourselves, but the Roar are already defeated. Oh. I'm going to challenge him here. Okay. Didn't take any risks. No attacks against us. The Roar were no exception. I see, but that's the reason for your presence in the Pegasus Galaxy. You're apparently calling... Oh, so we're trying to basically explain ourselves to everyone. They forced us to do it. We were looking for a place to settle. They forced us to take... It's like the most false explanation ever. We were trying to live there on their planet, and their homes were in the way. Very well. I sincerely hope you now I'll gain the space required to settle, and you'll refrain yourselves from tipping the fragile... I mean, is the goal of this game ultimately to take over the galaxy, or is it like... I mean, I always find that in sandbox games, it's like make your own goal. Oh, naturally, the European Union has found itself in the middle of all the conflict. Again, look, there's America. They have it so nice out there in America because there's nobody else on their borders. That it looks like it's so nice to be there. Like, even the Middle East has not really had its... I mean, there's always been conflict, it seems like. But at the same time, here Europe finds herself again amid conflict. Maybe not so cash money. Maybe not so amazing. Oh, whatever. Here we go. But yeah, my one thing, I'm going to go ahead and say this too, because this was kind of a pet peeve of mine, because I always find it tricky with games because of replay value when they dedicate time to art and stuff like that. Although I'm finding that these cutscenes are rather involved with what I'm doing, but I'm wondering how they repeat themselves. Although there does seem to be a lot of hours. Here's my thing is, I always think that a game, if it doesn't have like 1,500 hours worth of value in it, just because of what I've been like trained to, maybe this is due to YouTube, but like think is a good game now, like, that like lowers its value. Although replay value kind of has an end to it too. Although I love the cutscenes now, like, and they are very involved because in more of these now I'm being given choice, and I want to use them to create a faction of hive mind lizard people to take over the galaxy, and then give it all up to someone because they've decided that in all of their struggles, they've decided that war is not the answer, and by overcompensating for years, they've actually learned that pacifism is the answer. Assembling now because the contact you made with another new species. Yes, okay, cool. So now we're meeting with the other nations of Earth. What do they actually want from us? We sent you all we know. Well, apart from them being a self-claimed empire, claiming that all the systems have occupied are de jure part of their empire. Wait. De jure. Not, wait, like, the soup du jour? Wait a minute. I'm not familiar with this French phrase. Like, this is the soup du jour. De facto? I don't know. What does that mean? De jure part of their empire to leave the Aurora clan alone? Well, that's impossible. Asking for a lot, but okay, so basically these people want their entire other empire. Now are we going to align with the other nations of Earth, I suppose, is the question. What is the soup of the day, Admiral? This is no time to be talking about soup. There's a little too little to make a well-informed decision, but there are no other options, so yes, we agree. Mister, we're risking yet another... So she's going to be in favor of peace. Fair enough, of course, action you propose. I obviously cannot avoid disagreement with the Taman Empire for in the long run. I suggest we try to avoid escalating disagreement into war, or at least we try to prolong. Yeah, you would say that. Let's have our allies remain active. Yeah, I kind of am more just curious to see what they'll do if we... I'm not sure if this is really a good tactical move, but I want to see what the Middle Eastern conglomerate and the Americans do. I'm not going to go ahead and read through the rest of this text right here. I think I have an idea of what's going on. My other reservation here is that I feel like for a lot of the games that I personally enjoy, there's a minimization of text. Although I'm finding that there's just a lot of writing that's gone into this. I feel like that I just feel like that if the cutscenes were slightly shortened, it could lead to a lot more potential for some gameplay development, for more randomization, because I do really I like the kind of peace allies dynamic here, and I like the fact that they've gone for a more decided linearity in the game. But, I mean, especially because of the fact that games like Stellaris already exist, so I feel like that this gives it its own niche. But I would also qualify that with... I do feel like that it's a bit of a heavy hand on writing here, so I'm kind of curious as to see how that plays out in kind of like longer-term enjoyment of the game. Let's go ahead and send 2 of our fleets over and just let this one finish repairing, because those are just garrisons. We'll take over the inhabitable world, because we're clearly behind the kind of pacing of the game at this point in time. Am I one-sided here? Let's go in like this. Who else? I guess look at them slightly closer. Can we get, like, the military power of each fleet in each spot? Again, we'll run them down so that they don't have the ability to retreat. Again, I think I just want to be really strong here with Lightning Striker at any cost. Are we going to have to move around a lot? Let's take the damage reduction this time. We aren't really going to need... We'll just use missile salvos instead of nukes. I don't want to cause that much reputation harm. It seems that the objectives are to find a planet near you. The only problem is that they have people living on them. Oh my god. We should shoot the missile salvos. Well, we'll try to do both, but... Oh, whoops. Oh, darn. I did not mean to do that. I should not have pressed that. That was wrong of me. I accidentally just retreated my entire army. Can I reload my autosave for a second? Hang on a second. I may need to do that. Let's see if we just win anyway for a second, because I should still presumably have the army. It would be nice if there were a please don't cause me to retreat button. Okay, hang on a second. I'm just going to reload an autosave. I am save scumming. Woo, save scum. Unfortunately, it does auto saves rather frequently. Yeah, like I said, a couple of the little UI bits there, but also, like, yeah, that is an essential feature that we kind of need. Like, that saved me from a very frustrating moment, although then I have to kind of click through these events. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and repeat the cutscene that we just did. Hey, Critical Realms, thank you very much for the kind words. Although that should have been a very one-sided battle. Okay, let's go in again, and we might be able to get the whole thing this time. We will fight. I don't want to allow the auto battle because sometimes it seems that the computer can make just astronomically dumb decisions. Oh, this is interesting. Now their formation has changed, hasn't it? I'd have to zoom back to a couple of seconds ago, but yeah, I think that seems totally changed. I'm going to again just try to wipe them out. Let's allow nukes this time. Okay, woo, nukes. Woo. Let's see. Oh, we can attack all of them. Can we attack? Yeah, we can. Okay, so then we won't no, we don't even need nukes necessarily. We can go without. Let's try it again. We should be able to launch missiles rather than the retreat option. Oh, but it seems that you have only 2. So who shoots that? I guess if you only if you have artillery, it seems. We will launch them at the other remaining ones. This is really one-sided. I feel like this would go interestingly with games like RimWorld, you know? I always have this dream of an ultimate game. Like, what if you could have a RimWorld colony expand out from civilization to civilization? I think we can finally take over Bo. Here we go. The thing we were trying to do in the beginning. Is it kind of like Civ? A little bit more of an emphasis on the fleeing and the morality. Because I do believe that all the scenarios... I'd have to go back and double check. Now I want to go back to the main menu and double check on the other scenarios I could try. Civ, I guess, would be more of an overall civilization development. It seems like a lot of the exposition has already been done in this game, but then at the end of it, I guess I'm just going to totally try to take them out once again. Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, you are getting some of the research as you go. It's a bit more of a narrative. It has a bit more game than simulation to it, or it leans in that way, more than something like a Stellaris or a Civ, for example. Does that seem like a fair assessment? Also, yes, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. It is Father's Day today. 4 armies, not 3. Yeah, you've got the planets... So they take time to go to the adjacent star system. Then, oh, we can finally construct something on the... unless if the world is not habitable anymore. Ooh, this is habitable. It doesn't look that great. There's no water here, and there's just a giant chasm in the middle. But there are rare earth veins, eh? Civilian outpost. This just gives us energy and people. I guess everyone is... They're making Soylent Green of the people here, I suppose. Well, although we used up all of our resources. Woo, woo. Why did we do that? I don't really know. I really did not manage my resources particularly well at the beginning of this entire stream, so I'm probably going to just, like, let's get to the point we're inhabiting Bo, and then I'm going to give my final thoughts. Because really, I messed up a lot. Although, I think it was good because I'm learning. I like to discover the game as we go through a little bit more. But let's go ahead and let me just see. System diplomacy. Diplomacy. I will just leave these ships there. It doesn't seem like there's anyone... So they aren't really adjacent to us right here, so they can't attack us the next turn. So let's go ahead and repair these 2 fleets. I think that would still be okay. Oh, we don't even have enough resources. Never mind. We won't. We won't. But let's go send over these other nice people. Oh, wait. No path available. Why is no path? Fleet A. Williams. Fleet A. Aaron. Let's send over other people because this is still a pretty good fleet. I want them there soon. And we're already repairing over here. So it is, oh, wait. Unresolved communication request. Oh! It looks like he's trying to sell me something. Okay, let's see what happens. He has he has really huge lapels on that jacket. Okay, yeah, talk to me. Do you think we took the right approach in the audience with the Taiman? Oh, wow, you have relationships with your advisors, too? Oh, is he annoyed because I took approaches for him? Weren't we nice and everything? We were nice and everything. You mean the nice words? Well, sure, but we'd refuse to give any meaningful information. The game of nice words is one thing, but the one of please don't morally question me in my own moral, just horrible war crime simulator that we're going through here. The game of nice words action is totally different. In that game, we didn't play very nicely. Sure is complicated. It sure is unnecessarily complicated. I've got a good reputation for being blunt and unfriendly. No, because I like to get right to the point and tell things the way they... Oh, please. Wouldn't you have, like, eliminated your soul through this many years of military training? Why am I hiring you? Why are you glowing orange? To make them feel better. That'd just make them feel unnecessarily powerful. Yep, I agree. Don't ever give birds something that you don't need to, that you don't need. You're going to be anything I pretend not when you're useless. So is he like going to be less reliable to me? As the main representative of the EU, we need the world to end all disputes and conflicts and quickly. Oh no, this is clearly European thinking. Oh, I should have hired an American. Shy away from the heavily results above everything else. Oh no, there was a price and we paid it all the more than others, but I think you agree it was a price that needed to be paid. Alright, I've heard you. Okay. I'm not really sure how that goes into the story, but it seems like more of these things could lead to, like, decisions for our civilization, I suppose. Alright, now I will end the turn. You do seem to get a really good resource flow every turn, though. I think that's generous, but that's also partly because I turtled. I think it might be awful if you didn't turtle at the beginning here, just because of the way that the campaign seems to be scripted. Although the EU has really claimed a lot of territory, it's only a matter of time before it breaks up again. I'm sorry, was that too real for you guys? He glows orange to give people hope. Oh yes, I forgot. Whenever I've given a really inspiring speech, I will glow. Oh no. Do you hear me? Man, it really develops from turn to turn. Zeus. We had somewhat constructive dialogue with your recent audience, which is that you carefully consider more consequences of your future actions and choose them all. Okay, so they're basically fine with us. The bird people are okay with it. Occupied the bow system. That should help our settling efforts. Here we go. I do really want to settle bow. Here we go. Okay, woo, we're settling bow. Construction view allows you to build on the planets. Okay, so we can build an outpost here. Ah, civilian outpost. We are finally inhabiting a world, and we can get a governor. Ooh, could we name him Jeb? Milos Kowalski. Population growth, officer level bonus. Unit cost reduction. Energy production. I think energy production, because we seem to just not have very much of that. And more rare earth production as well. How do I hire him? Oh, no, we need resources to hire him. So we actually don't get a governor until we have enough money to hire one. Why are governors being hired with just large amounts of minerals? And why does we have to sacrifice 120 people? I guess that's like a lot of our population power or something. Or maybe like those are his staff that we hire. Sorry, my naive reading of the way that we spend resources in game. Just to sacrifice 120 people, and then I'll be the governor of the planet. Don't you worry about it now. Okay, that makes sense. I'll allow it. Where are we going? I think it's time to repair one of these. One, not both this time. Oh, not enough resources. End turn again. Unresolved communication. Well, we have inhabited the planet. We've got just about all of our resources into the positive. It took me a little while to figure out that with the energy, but I think I got to it. How am I feeling overall with everything? Chat, I just want to ask you, because I feel like I've gotten through a lot of what I had intended to figure out. We could destroy the roar. I think it's going to lead to a little bit more galactic communications. Although I would say in general here, there is a lot of game. Although one thing that I'm kind of that I would say that is something that I wouldn't really strike up right away, but also too, if you've really enjoyed games like Stellaris and you enjoy like the kind of like the decision making, which is where I feel like a lot of my storytelling happens. I'm like, oh, I could actually do something here. I do feel like that it might be more interesting to see from turn to turn, but I do want to go back out, so I am going to save here for a minute. But also, I'm kind of curious as to your guys' thoughts on the game overall. This is not something that I've seen yet, and I'm kind of curious because I don't always frequent the space genre. Let's see it. Woo. Dude, mess. It was just a mess. I mean, really, the EU is a mess. So I'm just going to name it that. But let's go back out to the menu. I do want to show you a couple of the other things because I feel like in a full overview, I would be remiss if I didn't. So I want to show you some of the other options that you have because I don't believe I went through with these. You do have the option to play as the Americans, in which case you are like much more militaristic. You can produce more ships. Stations are cheaper to produce, so you just get a better fleet and everything like that. And this is more of like the kind of play style I was doing, although I do like the way you kind of go through it in like the EU just because you have the more proper campaign. But being an American, now I'm sort of like, ooh, what would this be like to start as? So I do kind of want to show you how it starts. And also I was playing on normal too, so the game can get way harder, or you can make it easier. What do you really get with the... Oh yeah, you get more like harvesting of, I guess, for like the oil production. Yeah, like a lot of grand works and like resource acquisition for the kind of Middle East conglomerate. And then what is this one? The Pegasus Republic. These guys are like the break-off faction, locked to war with all human factions. Though they start with like subterfuge. So there are a lot of systems, keep in mind, that I did not show in this. Like, I didn't feel like a couple of hours was enough time to show every single system in the game, although I am finding that there's more and more. But I do want to show you, as an American, I want to show you the end. At the end here, like at least the American faction, to see what could have potentially been. We're starting with a Samuel Reed. Center of it all, height of empire. Although we have some optional starts here, I guess we should start with Exodus. I want to see if this starts me in a slightly different area, because I tried the height of it all before. Inhabited life biomass. Just want to make sure I show you a little bit of it. Okay, Exodus. Oh, that might be related to the biomass. I want to say it's a campaign, but I'm not sure if that's actually there yet. That might not be in the preview build. Okay, this has started me off with a totally different scenario than what I had. Okay, so I will add this as another qualifier, because I'm just going to go here. Now we're playing as the American faction. This is like with less story, as you can probably tell. I've not played through this one yet, so I don't know how the scripted cutscenes go or anything like that. But now we have a whole set of American fleets just like in a ring here. Basically a Dyson sphere, if it were possible, but around a black hole. Is that even possible? Probably not. I don't really understand the science, but I think that's just a star. In theory, not that I've ever built the Dyson sphere. That being said, this is a totally different map than the other one I had started on. This is a much cooler configuration, so this is a ring. You really would have to engage everybody here. But I want to just back out again. I'm not actually going to play through the whole American, like, war here, because it seems to me as though you get, like, I don't know, I would say, like, at least 10 hours out of a campaign, aside from trying it again, which... My kind of curiosity is like how much replay value is there from campaign to campaign, because this is a different one. And if I go back to, let me go back to the main menu. This is just one of the American starts. I want to say that there was a different one. I'm not sure if the map actually just randomizes now, but here I want to check it out. Start scenario. Perfect world also. Thank you very much for the Prime. The Geneva Convention was on Earth. That is accurate. If we just start off with the Scattered Empires one. Scattered around the galaxy quite randomly. Okay, so you've got 6 RG's facilities and 6 different colonies to win the scenario, all starting positions randomized. So you do have different goals. So there is some replay value. Ah, okay, here we go. So this is how my start was randomized. Okay, so then there is actually randomization. I stand corrected. It's not. It doesn't seem to be perfectly scripted every single time, because I had picked that other start before. Okay, I stand corrected there. That being said, there is more like tactical nuance here. It seems as though you're always in the same galaxy, but yeah, like I think that's a fair assessment. Anyway, I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think of the game overall. Did it make you more curious? What would you feel like would be interesting? Because I feel like that there's a couple of little things where I'm like, ooh, if this ambiance were like slightly different, or if this little thing that's slightly rough around the edges were slightly different. Like, there is quite a lot of good game here, though, at the core, I would say. But I'm curious. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, and I'll just try to read out some comments now. And also, are you guys into Stellaris at all? Because I find that I'm not as naturally interested in grand strategy as other people, because I feel like a lot of it is map staring, and I often get more out of the I would say the actual the nitty gritty of the kind of evolutionary or survival types of games, or Sims. And so when I can't visualize as much, it doesn't make it as much fun for me, but that's just kind of my own bias. I'm kind of curious about folks who really enjoy grand strategy and enjoy stuff like Stellaris, which is probably most of the people in this chat. I would kind of like to hear your opinion on it. Chat isn't full of space engineer people, although I was chatting with a friend the other day who's an engineer and really enjoys Stellaris. He was just doing a campaign on his own. I know, I've just dropped a lot of water. Sometimes feels like a spreadsheet gameplay. Potentially a benefit, potentially also a drawback at times. Yeah, I would say if it leans that much into spreadsheet, where does the dialogue come in? Although I also suppose that's due to the main campaign. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it has a campaign at all. Yeah, I would say that too. Although I may have been a bit heavy-handed on the campaign bits. I love Excel. Yeah, it could be a benefit or it could be a drawback at times. I feel like that the one thing that I would say might hold this game back is if it doesn't decidedly more take that. And I would say that games that generally tend to be more successful are games that do lean toward the kind of spreadsheet aspect of it. If doing so, go in hard. Although I think that this whole idea of galactic reputation is very interesting, and I would like to see them play around more with that. Martial law. I also there were whole systems I didn't even look into. But yeah, I felt like that we got through a lot in 2 hours time, and I'm would explore more. Spreadsheet gameplay. Something Stellaris does is keep you hooked to event chains. Hey, VCaps, how you doing? Big 4Xs, it kind of needs something to keep you hooked with each... Yeah, with what the campaign has. So I would be curious as to that. That's fair. Additional content from the DLCs, though. That is true. At the core, is it just a husk? I would say kind of in a similar way to how, I enjoyed Going Medieval, as, this isn't really my replacement for RimWorld, but this is a very, specific niche in this genre, because I'm someone who really, really enjoyed a game like RimWorld, for example. So I feel like that this is... to Stellaris as that would be the example I would use here, or I don't know, Endless Space or whatever you would put in there, or AI War. Man, AI War was another game. This would be to Stellaris as say, for example, Going Medieval is to RimWorld. I feel like that's actually a rather fair assessment. Anyway, that's about all that I had to say there, but I think that's about it. Anyway, the full game is going to be releasing on June 20th, so shout out to Fulcrum again. Thanks again for sponsoring the... let me just go ahead and... In conclusion, I would say, kind of an adventure, a big adventure in space, although I think it leans more toward game than simulation. Does that feel more of an accurate assessment? Yeah. Yeah, the event chains. I would be kind of curious as to see how they handle that. It's good to be back in space. I feel like I discovered a lot throughout this stream, although I feel like that there's a really interesting core gameplay here. I feel like I might not really be the ideal person for 4X and grand strategy at times, and oftentimes I find that map games I struggle with because I sometimes I have issues with getting back past some of the symbolism. Although I would say that there is a deep and compelling narrative here. It's more of like kind of a game than like a simulation in that way, but I feel like that if they just made a few tweaks and some of the additional content, all of that amazing stuff that they did in terms of like all of the assets could be used and reused in different ways to do more emergent gameplay. So I actually found a lot more than I thought I would initially be interested in here. Just kind of me being into like 4X and grand strategy. Again, I have been trying to kind of boop my snoot into this genre more, so it is nice to get sponsored here. Again, big thanks to Fulcrum. I would check this out on the 1.0 if you are planning on checking it out, because I believe that they said that there's going to be a sale on it, and that's on June 20th. But then again, if you want to go ahead and wait and see what happens with the full release, this was the preview build, although I have shown you the American way, and there are different scenarios. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I gave that kind of a look before we came out, although I will now be hitting more and more of the grand strategy genre. But yeah, it would be interesting to see, like VCAP said, like what happens with the event chains as far as we go into the scenarios. But yeah, anyway, thanks again. This has been the Pegasus expedition, and I hope you guys enjoyed.